lesbian family, and welcome to Talk TV with Tiffany. I'm your host, Tiffany. When I'm not watching TV, I'm talking about it. And today I'm talking about the last Supernatural episode called First Blood. It's our first episode back from break, and I have to admit, I was a little weirded out by the mid-season finale. It was super strange with Satan's spawn and everything. It was I rewatched it, and I kind of I was surprised how much I just completely blocked out because it was so crazy, you know? So I was very curious to see where we'd go after that. And it's been a while since Supernatural's had this kind of an unconventional episode where it's not the boys focusing on defeating something, but it's more so as like a survivalist kind of a thing where it's like, I guess, real world circumstances. It reminded me of Juice and Bello a bit, where they're stuck again in a cell, except, you know, at least they were together there. And Henriksen was a much more fun FBI agent, and he got on board with the guys too. So, but it's been a long time since we've seen them imprisoned like this. And they even, even Dean said that torture in hell was better than being stuck in, that concrete cell. So the boys make a deal with Billy the Reaper, who's sick of these Winchesters getting a second chance at life all the time. And so after we see the boys really badass defeat the guards and escape and set up a cool trap at a cabin where they take them all out, trying not to kill as many as they can, but still kicking ass and taking names. Which it was so much fun just to see how smart they are and how good they are. It's like we're used to seeing them just gank monsters, but they're resourceful and they're clever, and they were hunting them like Dean warned them. It's like they're not the ones being hunted. They never are, because they're Winchesters, damn it. So I really love that. I thought that was super cool. But what I loved even more than that was seeing Castiel without the boys in a new way. He actually reaches out to Mary and says that, I don't know how the boys do it. I'm trying to hunt monsters and trying to keep the world safe the way they do, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't convincingly play the FBI agent. I couldn't find the nest. I couldn't kill the vampires, So Mary, she's like, no, it's okay, Cass, relax. And she goes and she takes care of it all by herself, because she kicks ass. I love Mary. And even though I was upset at her for kind of abandoning her boys after coming back, I know she was weirded out and stuff, but come on, you can't leave them. You can't leave the poor boys. My heart was breaking the whole first half of this season with all of that stuff. So finally, when Mary, Cass, Sam, and Dean come together with the help of the British men of letters, we see Castiel do something that we never expected. So Billy appears, and she says the boys' time is up. They have their chance to say goodbye, but, like they agreed, she's claiming a Winchester's life. Well, the second she said she's claiming a Winchester's life, Mary's going to step in. She's the one who just came back from the dead, and she feels more comfortable being dead anyway. So, of course, she's going to sacrifice herself for her boys. But in a twist, and this is what leads to my big question, in a twist, Castiel kills Billy the Reaper. And he says that he is done with this cycle of the Winchesters sacrificing themselves constantly, over and over again. The world needs the Winchesters. It's, no one can fight this fight the way they can. And so I'm wondering, is the cycle over? I've loved this show from the beginning, but it became a little bit redundant. I mean, it was always a different scenario, but either way, for a while, it was either going to be Dean's dying, Sam's dying, how are we going to get them back from hell or purgatory, or, from Lucifer's clutches, and it was just kind of the same thing. Like, if one isn't going to die, then the other one's going to die, and they each can spend the season convincing the other not to die. And, it's we love it. It still tugs on our heartstrings, but, after a while, it's like, okay, when's it going to end? And Cass just did it. He ended it. He's like, no more Winchesters dying on my watch. We need them. They're too important. And he cares for them too much too. So I mean, oof, the feelings. I was just like, oh boy. And Misha Collins did such a phenomenal job. Just everyone's acting. I mean, Jared and Jensen and Samantha were amazing in that scene. and just I got goosebumps. And I really hope that Cass is able to, you know, uphold this new thing where, you know, the Winchesters don't have to constantly die, you know, saving people, hunting things, the family business. But, you know, can't they do it without dying? Probably not. But I'm very curious to see if Castiel successfully broke the cycle, at least for the time being. And obviously he's going to have to face repercussions for what he did. He just took out a Reaper, and that can't be good. And I know in the upcoming episode, the angels are going to be hunted, and we're going to see Castiel as an angel. We saw how he possessed Jimmy, his vessel, but we never really saw him as an angel beforehand, and the kind of work he would do. So I'm very curious to see more about Cass, and I like the spotlight being cast on him a little bit more now too. But I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Do you think that the cycle is broken, or will they always be sacrificing themselves for each other? You know, or do you think maybe it'll end with them all going out together in one last ultimate epic, you know, showdown? Jared and Jensen have always kind of said that they want to kind of Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid the show at the end, which, you know, they go out in a blaze of glory, and at least they'll be together. I guess, you know, knowing that they're together would be a little less heartbreaking, because we've seen how horrible they suffer, you know, without the other. So yeah, that's my I don't know, my thoughts on this, and my question to you guys. And then in another note, if you guys have not been watching Eric Kripke's Timeless yet, please start watching now. You want to catch up in time. Jim Beaver's arc starts this Monday, and he's going to be, his character arc is going to last through the end of the season. And in a couple weeks, Misha Collins will be playing Elliot Ness. And it's such a great show. It has a lot of same themes as Supernatural. There's the sibling theme where after Lucy's first trip into the past, she comes back and her sister no longer exists, so she's trying to find her sister and find a way to bring her back into existence. And then Wyatt lost his wife. She was murdered, so he's trying to prevent her from being murdered. So we see little parallels. Whenever the boys, you know, traveled back in time on Supernatural, there were things that they wanted to do, things they wanted to change, but, you know, they could only change so much. And it was more so to learn than to actually, you know, change something, unless they're chasing something bad. So please watch. I'll include a link to my article on all the ways you can help save the show, and please start tuning in. We really need as many eyeballs on this show, watching live Monday nights 10 p.m. on NBC. You won't regret it. And Eric Kripke's bringing, you know, great Supernatural players into the show too, so it can only get better. And if we get a second season, imagine how many more people he'll bring up aboard. So until next time, happy watching, and I'll talk to you soon.